Welcome everybody to Victory Circle Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Wilson. Today we have Patsy Koay. How you doing, Patsy?
I'm lovely and fantastic, Jason. Nice to meet you here. And everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Patsy is actually joining us from Malaysia.
My pleasure and thank you for having me here.
It's a pleasure. Patsy is a resilience intervention counselor and has just a fascinating story. But Patsy, how does your story start? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, now you really get me back, when I was a little kid. Being as a psychologist, now I can trigger myself like back to when I was a little kid. Actually, the little Patsy is more like an eccentric kid. She always loved to be alone, but not lonely. And she loved to have her own private space and quiet time. So she will be able to ponder a lot of life questions for herself. I know it's kind of strange, right? Just for a little kid, because from the whole environment, she always feel and sense, all her school friends, when they're in the school, sometimes they will go forward to her and let her know about their story. So she paid attention to listen what is going on around. And then she had a lot of questions in her mind. So when she got home, she asked a lot of questions. Why are we here? Why? What is the purpose, right? In this world.
Wow,
And
wow, as a little girl?
yes, and why we have been struggled so much, even we were just a kid.
Right.
The kids struggle, right? So, and that little Patsy always seemed like when she grow up someday, she's able to help to lead the children world. And when the children is lost, at least there is somebody to guide them along. I think this is what she always think about. And the empathy, the listening ears that she feel, she sense. So for now, if I look back the little Patsy, I just have to say thank you for God. The universal creator never abandoned her.
No, of course not.
Never. So this is what I highlighted, being as a child, I think in these days, children got lost without a proper guidance, a mentorship. So I think, for a children, we always want to seek for guardian angels like you, like others around that can guide them along so they won't be lost.
Yes. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
that is amazing. Okay, so Patsy, what was your passion in school? What did you do for extracurricular activities?
I love music. Music is my best friend, I have to say. I joined the music club, and then I always want the music piano in schools. So I was very, very fortunate. My dad and my mom, just say that, if I give you a best voice, what would you like to have? So I chose piano. And, with the piano, when I was like, intense or maybe I got tension, the piano always helped me to express all the little fingers on it. And I can rest, I can like, just get all my emotion and tension on the black and white keyboards. That
Wow.
helps a lot. It just transfer a lot of emotional healing. And I didn't even know it until now. I'm just so thankful my parents, they give me such a good toys that I can ever had. And I always, talk to my piano students. I say maybe, in a rich family, they have Mercedes, they have Bentley, they have a lot of different luxury cars, but not every house they might get a grand piano.
Right.
So we treasure what we have, because when we have a relationship with the piano, I put it as a relationship. A lot of children that don't love to play piano because in required times to sit on that stool and practice.
Right. It's not an
And
easy instrument.
Yes, and when they come to me, they always say, I hate piano, you know? Why did you sign up for this class? And then they will say, because my mom and my dad asked me to do so. I said, can we just change a little bit, you know, way of thinking? You should feel this is fortunate. What about when you build a relationship with your piano and start to talk about, you know, your emotion and how your days goes with a musical story? And you put the melody, the rhythms to paint the music in the manuscript book. Things will be so much different. It's just like telling a story.
I've never thought about playing a musical instrument in terms of releasing your emotions like that. That's
Oh,
amazing.
it does, you know, because well, for me, I noticed that, okay, I have to say, if you go for hard rock, oh my goodness, you know, that is a lot of stimulation, you know, for your neuron brain. Don't forget the whole neuron brain, the brain function, how we communicate our brain. There are two things coming from a chemical, and the other one is electronical, right? So if you want to get healed, now I come back, you know, because I'm a certified sound healing therapist as well.
Uh-huh.
So from that point, I just realized that, you know, the music is a frequency that how to channel into our whole body and help us to vibrate and resonate to the frequency of emotional state. It's pretty amazing. If you look at my profile, you can see, you know, Abastai, right? He say that in the future, medicine is about frequency.
So, Patsy, my question is, what happens if someone listens to like hard rock or heavy metal?
Okay, it depends on personal preference. I always coming back that is non-judgmental because everybody have a different mode, receive mode, defense mode, happy mode. It really depends on the vibration, right?
Right.
So I have to say, you know, if you have a very hard and long day, you want to go for a easy listening music, but for somebody, you know, they have anger, you know, they cannot really release. Most of the time, the children might go for a heavy metal, but not may not be suitable for everyone. Yet, yet, we respect other people's space. So I think most of the time, currently, this is why headset require, right? I think that is what it is, right?
Right.
So, but I have to say it, the music, I have to use this word. Everything in this word is about energy. It can be toxic, it can be healing. Okay. So if people they choose a different wrong frequency, it can harm them.
Okay, that's a good point. I think where we should segue into actually what you do as a
Mhm,
resilience intervention therapist. So,
mhm.
what do you do to help kids?
A lot of people ask me, Patsy, what is resilience? Resilience basically is like increase the ability, right? Adaptability when they are facing trauma at an emotional pain level, but they are still be able to pick themselves up from mental state, physically, body, and they are be able to cope with the current painful, traumatized situation, and they can walk straight and they will not fall down. As I said, fall up. So for me, as a resilience counselor, the motto is very simple. We can do it. Okay.
Yes.
So we can do it. It's like, you know, just give them affirmation, positive energy. Let them to understand. Don't take it as a personal. When you take everything as a personal, it hurts even worse. Because coming back from a psychological perspective, is a nature and a nurture, the outer space and the inner space. So being as a counselor, when they came to me, I just let them know. And I want them to understand for current situation, is only going to be better tomorrow. When you plant a seed of hope, compassion, and love, they will be activate the vibration to understand they're not alone. And let me just quote your speaker, Dr. Jose. Dr. Jose, thank you so much, because I just watch your video, in past few days. You talk about resiliency. Actually, it's coming from community.
Yes.
That is excellent. This is all about community. When I'm facing, 10 years ago, I was like facing, all the resilient children, the refugees, right? But don't forget the refugee children, the resilient children. The first thing I would let them know, you are not alone on this journey. They want to see the light. Where are all these refugees come from? They are coming from a place with no peace, right? When there is no peace, what will happen? There is conflict mismanagement. Number two, when there is no peace, there's no hope. So having saying that, when I get into the resilience award, actually it wasn't stop me from there. It helps me to understand more about human experience on this planet. Problem solving is coming from understanding. It's deep listening. Deep listening means we have to pay more attention, non-judgmental, and just listen what other people said. With all the information from that part, we feel, we sense, we understand, and we provide. So from that point, we know it. We can increase the ability for adaptation and how to make their life into more sustainability for the lifestyle change, for a better livelihood. Does it make sense now?
Yeah, that's amazing. So, Patsy, what kinds of problems do these children have when they come to you?
Okay, most of the time, I have to say it's emotional pain level. They lost their home country, right? They lost their family sometimes. They're coming from the state. There's a lot of changes because being as a children psychologist, the change is a big thing to hit a children for traumatized. The change can be, house movement, country movement, new environment adaptation. When they go to cope with a new environment, it can be have a lot of more challenges from the hormonal changes and also emotional states, mentally. So with all the aspect, I have to look into every angle to approach it holistic way. I use the word holistic is because I'm not using any medication, because that is coming back to the source of love. This is why my spiritual psychology into that stand to come along for my own self to be able to connect to the community. And I'm so thankful the universe give me so much of gifted divine energy to spend time with these children and the community as well. So to earn their trust, they are open up to their hearts and their mind. When they talk to me about their story, I will ask them, please forgive them for those who do not know they hurt you. People even hurt people. Sometimes they don't know.
That's
But
true.
are you willing to forgive them? So we pray for them. And hopefully everybody learn the historical pattern and not to hurt anyone anymore. It hurts. Does it make sense?
Yes, yes. So, Patsy, do you have any special cases to show us?
Okay, recently I am working with, the children, such as in technology. We call them as a digital children.
Digital children.
Yes, coming to the tech world. The metaverse. Thank you, metaverse. Big topic, right? What
Yes.
else? Metaverse is brilliant. Metaverse is like an open, resources platform, to everyone, right? I mean, I'm a tech person, I'm a tech advocate, I love it. Okay. So metaverse basically is good for edu tech, right? The Web3, the NFL, right? So it enhance, the edu tech, education technology for people, for the student to learn more about immersive technology, for them to go from, I just, know about this. It's like coming from, the AR, augmented reality, and then go for VR, the virtual reality, and go for MR, it's called mixed reality, and go for XR.
XR. I've never heard of this.
Yeah,
Extended reality? What is that?
standard reality, people, the mixed reality, actually you can, like, using a lot of like pornography, to go for like do a lot of different stuff. But when I go to extended, right, I think it will be much more amazing for them to go to a different dimension. They can click and they can do a lot of different wonders. I'm not going to talk more about the technology, okay? But being as a spiritual psychologist and a resilience intervention or counselor, what my concern is about the children mental health. For here, I'm very honored to have the permission, get some pictures that I want to show you and the public. And I just want to advocate to talk about this. And may I ask all the metaverse creator in the future, we need to create a healthy and provide a good mental health state, some good regulation for the children who is eligible, like 13 years old kid, they're able to join to the metaverse so they can understand what can be done and what cannot be there, and get the soul back to the reality. Are we all ready for the picture?
Yes. Yes. Let's see this.
Okay, this is something that, love is the answer. That was like, when I mean, those are the picture that I was, with the kid, that was like in the resilient children. Okay, coming back to this slide, it's very interesting. I think the metaverse create a lot of different story regarding about, you can put your imagination to be there, right? Did you see that? So one of the kid that I, counseling, she basically, she was, with this fox, she was creating a lot of, magical story, which is like, having a connection with the fox spirit.
Hmm.
And then when she got out, you can you see that, right? This is considered as a, we call it as a cosplay, okay? But basically, she heard the spirit talk to her. She wants to be into that world because the metaverse, is great. You can be very open-minded and have a lot of freedom of choice
Right.
to choose different, avatar ID for you to get along inside for yourself to do whatever you want. The kids love it, right? Compared to the reality, right?
Yes.
So you can see from here, that is some scar who done not so nicely. Basically, it's a, suicide scar.
Oh, she tried to kill herself.
Yes. Okay.
Wow.
I feel when she came to me, the parents told me, her behavior, everything wasn't, that wise. So I asked her, what makes her, to feel that. She said that to me. She said, Miss Patsy, because in the, in the tech world inside, right, they feel it, they can do everything, and they can have the connection to get their emotional state better. But sometimes coming back, from our spirituality realms, right? If they're not being careful, sorry to say, the evil spirit can attack, from this point of view.
Hmm.
I'm not sure whether you guys agree.
So
Okay.
she was influenced by a demonic spirit through this character.
Yes. Okay.
Interesting.
That's
Yes.
the thing, right? So, and this is another one. Okay.
Hmm.
I know this is not very nice to show to the public, but my concern is I would like to ask all the metaverse, creator to be more aware of the content of the story and how the setup for the young children or the young people.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You can see all the scar. Okay.
Yes.
What I talked to these children, I told them, I said, you have a beautiful hand. Your hand's supposed to put more bracelet. Those not for you. And after, we have some few counseling section, they agree. And I just told them, you don't lose your soul, because no matter what happened, you need to know your identity in this world. Who are you, by the way? Who are you? Right? So they told me, the answer is very simple. They say, I'm a daughter. I say, a daughter of who? They say, their parents' name. I say, no, we are all God's children.
Yes.
We are all God's children, no matter who we are. No matter you're a teacher, you are principal, you are CEO. But back to the spirituality world, the spiritual world, we are the children of God. That divine energy tap in, and then what happened? The light is on. The darkness gotta be dismissed. I just hope for this show, being as a parent, educator, or metaverse creator, I beg you all, please be kind, mercy, compassion, to give a good impact for the children. They are the future leaders. They are the real teachers to let us know what is the right things to do. I'm humbly to learn every single day from them. Because in the school, most of the time, they will assess the children by their grading, who are, is that 100 score, is that like, they got 100%, from grading. But we forgot the attitude, the little pure heart. I think this is more important, right? So
Yes.
from here, I just hope everyone, will get some good feedback. So, and then this is one of my students, that she was in the refugee past 10 years. Now she become as an American citizen, and she also a teacher in America. So I'm quite proud of her. And then what I feel that the love is the answer for everyone to nurture, to improve better relationship about the mental well-being is coming from love, the power of love. The power of love is so important for us to empower, everybody, because if we know that nothing is more important about love, to understand the love, when you see the love, you see the light. Does it make sense?
That's very true.
I'm not talking about the intimacy love. I'm talking about the light of love. I'm talking about the divine love. Love is the answer, right? Love can heal. Like there is a lot of empowerment. So the love language is very, very, very important for everyone.
Patsy, thank you so much for being on the show. Your work is phenomenal. And, so many kids need your help. I think we can reach a lot more people by doing these kinds of shows. So we will definitely have you back.
Thank you very much indeed for having me tonight, and also in the morning and your site.
Thank you so much. Patsy, how can people find you on social media?
Okay, I don't really have a lot of social media to be honest, but LinkedIn will be the right source. And I've been so thankful for LinkedIn. I have to say, in past 10 years until this year, I wasn't really active in a lot of social media, but I just have a sense of calling. The tech world, we need to balance up with more good mental health states, in a spirituality and to create awareness. This is why I come enjoy LinkedIn. And this is how the divine energy, the divine connection with you and with other friends and the family, like on LinkedIn. I just have to say thank you so much, LinkedIn, to put me out here to connect with all the good, to nurture again, right? To give the impact to the community. And I think this is a good platform, and this is such a good credibility, platform that I can trust on, with the protection, with the love, with the peace in this journey that we can be here, to enlighten one another and to can encourage one another as well.
Yes, I encourage everyone to join us on LinkedIn. I met Patsy actually through Social Saturday, is an event that happens every single weekend. There's a post that you can follow. Actually, you can look for me or Patsy on LinkedIn and connect to at least 100 people every Saturday. Again, Patsy, thank you so much for being on the show. We will talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Bye
Take
for
care.
now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Victory Circle Podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.